Greetings, everyone. Richard Fulmer here, and welcome to another Richard's Rock Rambles. So on today's episode, we're going to have a look at a band that I suppose you would call them a stoner band, doom, but for me, they're more on the psychedelic side of things. They come from the States. They've been going around for a fair bit of time, not that long, and they have 6 studio albums thus far. There's a couple of live albums as well. I think there's 5 live albums. There's loads of footage of this band on YouTube. Excellent live band. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about the band Earthless. A band that I was very late into coming to get to know. And as you know, I'm a big Black Sabbath fan. So I was immediately drawn towards this band for their riffs. These guys have got some incredible riffs to their music. It's mostly instrumental. There's long tracks, long passages. The guitar work is exceptional. It's just guitar, drums, and bass. So it's a power trio, essentially. But when you listen to these 3 guys, it sounds like there's at least another 3 people in the band. They are that good. And yes, I know you can get away with stuff in the studio, but I've seen them live. Well, I've seen live videos of them. I would love to see them live. And they get that same sound in a live setting, which is quite amazing if you think there's just the 3 guys. All very good in what they do, the drummer, the bassist, and the guitarist especially. And the guitarist's name is Isaiah Mitchell. This guy's playing is Hendrix-like, some of his runs. Then he can be like Tony Iommi with his riffs, very heavy. But he's never boring. You know, when I say they do long tracks, I'm talking like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And, you know, that can get a bit much after a while, but you never get bored with their music. They go in different directions, then they slow it down, then there might be a little acoustic interlude, then they get heavy again. Bits of jazz thrown in, bits of, lots of melody, which is quite strange for a band like this. Obviously, there's not much in the way of lyrics, them being an instrumental band, but really, this band blew me away when I first heard them. I only have 2 of the 5 studio albums. Was it 6? 6 studio albums. I only have 2. One on vinyl and their most recent one on CD. So who else is in the band? Well, let me first tell you where they're from. They're from San Diego in California. And they started out in 2001. So they've been going a fair bit of time. So on drums is Michael, I've got to say this very carefully, Rubalcaba, I think that's how you say it. Then guitar, Isaiah Mitchell, like I mentioned. And on bass, a guy by the name of Mike Edgington, I think that's how you say his name. Isaiah Mitchell, for a very short time, left Earthless, I think about a year ago. And he went to go and play for the Black Crowes, which I find rather strange because that is a totally different band, a totally different sound. Cheers, guys. Hope you're all doing well. From Earthless, which is this sort of psychedelic stoner doom rock, to the Black Crowes, which I suppose there are some similarities, but very different. But he didn't hang around there too long. I think he was helping them out with a tour or something, and now he's subsequently gone back to Earthless, which I'm really happy about because I think that band needs to stick together. They got some great product out there. So let me show you the 2 that I have. The first one, which I got, one of the few records that I bought brand new because of the price here in South Africa, you know, with the exchange rate and everything else. One cannot really afford to get too many new records. But I got this one online, Earthless, and this album is called Black Heaven. Love that cover. That's another thing about this band. They have really cool covers for their albums. So that's the front, and that's the back. There you can see the whole thing with that smoke coming out of the skull there, very stoner-like. And that's the inside cover with how's that 60s psychedelic look to it. Love that stuff. Let's open it up and see what I can tell you from the inside. Oh yes, I must show you the record itself. That's something else as well. So there's only 6 tracks on here. Side A, you've got Gifted by the Wind. That was the first and only single, I think, that came off this album. And there's quite a bit of vocals on here done by Isaiah Mitchell, I think. Did he do the vocals? Yes, vocals. Isaiah Mitchell, vocals, guitar, and effects. Mario Rubalcaba, drums and percussion, and Mike Edgington on bass. So Gifted by the Wind, it starts off with this like cymbal, and then it's very, it starts off with a cymbal, sort of on the hi-hat almost, and then there's this riff that it goes into, which is as good as anything Sabbath ever wrote, as far as I'm concerned, the riff-wise. It's out of the Tony Iommi sort of playbook, if you like. And then that goes into that riff, and that's a great track, Gifted by the Wind. It's actually the best track on the album, or the best one to use as a single. These are a lot shorter than what they normally do. Then there's a track called End to End, Electric Flame, Volt Rush, Black Heaven, the title track, and Sudden End. This is a great record. And here you've got the lyrics on the other side. Is there anything else I can tell you about this? No. Sometimes they say which other bands they tour with, but they don't say on the back of this one. But you can't go wrong with this one. Black Heaven. There we go. Have another look at that great cover. If you can get hold of this one, you won't be sorry. Then the other one I got from a very good friend of mine, Tony Stoops. Thank you, Tony. He went over to Germany, I think last year, or it was last year. And he managed to get the new one for me. And this one is called Night Parade of 100 Demons. And it's based on a Japanese folklore, all about demons. And how's that? I don't know if this is, you can't really see on a CD, but how's that for that cover? Incredible stuff. There's the inside as well. I just love that artwork. And it works so well with the music. Now, this album, there are only 3 tracks. Yes, you heard that right. 3 tracks. And let's see if they say, they don't really say very much on here. Now, this is what I hate about CDs. Now, you tell me, I mean, me with my failing eyesight, how am I supposed to read this? It's like, what? You know, I can't. Whereas with a vinyl, it's not so bad, and you get that whole great picture as well. What I mean, really, that's like for the, what do you need, a magnifying glass to see that? In any case. So you got Night Parade of 100 Demons Part 1, Night Parade of 100 Demons Part 2, and then Death to the Red Sun. 3 tracks. So the first track is 20 minutes. The second one is 23, and then the last one is 19. I think that's how that, because there's no timing on you, but it's 19, 20, and then 23, I think. So it just shows you how long the tracks are. But like I said, it doesn't get boring. They keep you sort of captivated. You want to know which direction they're going to go in next. And that's the great thing. They have all these, different directions they go into, and they all work perfectly with the music. In this new one, there's no vocals again. This is just purely instrumental, which is what they always used to be. I think for the one I previously mentioned, Black Heaven, that was a one-off, I think. And while it did well, I think the guys, the sort of die-hard fans, wanted them to go back to the purely instrumental style, which they have done on their most recent one, which is amazing. So either one of those, the second one I've just spoken about here, Night Parade of 100 Demons, if you can get hold of that, or this one, this is Black Heaven, there we go. Now you know why I like vinyl as opposed to CDs. Anyway, it's really great music. If you're into stoner, if you're into Sabbath, if you're into Candlemass, I'm trying to think who else. There's another band that I'd love to get hold of their stuff. Very similar. They're called King Buffalo. They're also from the States. Very similar to them. There's even bits of Hawkwind within this band's music. You can hear they borrowed from a lot from the 70s. Great musicians, all 3 of them. And I really hope they stick together and bring out a good few more albums, because I'll definitely be in the market for that. Thanks for watching, guys. And take care of yourselves. If you haven't done so yet, please Subscribe down below. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. And any comments, more than welcome, good or bad. It's all good. Have a great week. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. Next time, we're going to leave the gems for the moment. We'll come back to them because I've got a lot more here to talk about. But I thought what we'd do is we'd look at the albums that are 50 years old in 2023. So we're going to look at those albums that came out in 1973. And there's some really good ones. Cheers, guys. I'll catch you soon.